The male protagonist bent over at a 90-degree angle to the sky, and suddenly, an iron box fell from the sky. This was the very mecha the male protagonist had summoned. Despite the mecha's unattractive appearance, the male protagonist had won 4 matches with it. The final match was up next, and his opponent was none other than the prince of the country, who had the world's best mecha. However, even with this advantage, it couldn't faze Leo, who mocked the prince as a useless ornament. The infuriated prince activated the ultimate mode of his mecha. Facing Leo's formidable mecha, the prince had no chance and resorted to taunting Leo for relying solely on his mecha's power. Leo, hearing this, smirked, revealing his twisted personality. Thinking about the humiliations he had endured, including almost being sold to an old lady, treated like garbage by girls, and getting beaten up for no reason, Leo couldn't stand the unfairness anymore. He believed that the prince had everything he lacked, and why should the prince be treated differently? This made Leo furious, and even though he knew he wasn't a match for the prince, he preferred to fight to the death rather than lose to Mary. Hearing the prince's willingness to die for someone else, Angelica couldn't hold back her tears. At that moment, Olivia suddenly stood up and revealed all the things the prince had done to Angelica. However, the prince still thought that Angelica cared about his status, not realizing that true love was the girl who was willing to buy him a 50-cent skewer to eat. Despite Leo's advice, the prince, determined to be with Mary, activated his mecha's ultimate mode. Leo, not holding back, analyzed for safety and unleashed a powerful shockwave that reduced the prince's mecha to rubble. Despite the insults from everyone, Leo won the match with overwhelming strength. However, he couldn't find happiness in his victory. On that day, Leo went to the Duke's house, knowing the consequences of making an enemy of the prince. To protect his family, Leo offered all his wealth and the future title he would receive to the Duke in exchange for protection. The Duke, curious about Leo's willingness to help his daughter, was informed by Leo that it was all for the sake of the country's future. Although Leo was secretly jealous of the prince's looks, recognizing Leo's honesty, the Duke agreed to his request and cancelled the engagement between his daughter and the prince. As Angelica's spirits remained low, she asked Leo to take her out to distract her. Leo had lost his chance at education and the opportunity to enjoy food with his peers, but he had gained the Duke's favor. One day, Leo decided to take them to the countryside. Angelica, torn by guilt, had first separated the prince from Mary and later caused Leo to be vilified, making her believe she was a bad person. Hidden from sight, Leo overheard everything but chose not to console her, feeling like an outsider. Meanwhile, Leo's father was frantic upon hearing about Leo, and the legitimate wife scolded him for the disaster their concubine's child had become. All the maids approached Angelica with great respect once they learned she was the Duke's daughter. The legitimate wife reluctantly left, but it seemed she might cry. With Leo as their guide, they visited his estate, which featured modern agriculture and a natural hot spring that Leo was proud of. In the hot spring, after a heartfelt conversation, the two girls quickly became close friends, touching each other as if they were lovers. Leo was left stunned. At this moment, Olivia proposed that Leo should only call her Olivia from now on, indicating a desire to get closer to Leo. Angelica also wanted Leo to call her Angie, but she couldn't let go of her emotional baggage. Leo noticed this and encouraged Angelica to let go of her desire for revenge against the prince. Angelica's eyes widened, but her answer revealed her realization that instead of pursuing unattainable love, she should cherish the happiness she had now. After this battle, the prince and his companions were stripped of their status and became ordinary civilians, and Mary's dreams of a royal life were shattered. Early one morning, messengers from the king arrived at Leo's home. Thanks to the Duke's false accusations, Leo not only regained admission to school but also received the title of Baron from the king. After receiving the king's award, Leo became the first person in history to become a baron at the age of 16. Though he originally wanted to be an ordinary person in this world, he now had to embark on a harem lifestyle.